Hi, welcome to Alaskan in Thailand. I'm here on the beach again. It's about 5:30 in the evening. Still breezy. We have this wind, steady wind that's been with us for about a week. It's cooled things off. It's actually a bit nippy here, or just perfect actually. Today I thought I'd talk about how to pick a good condo, and actually how to pick a condo and condo life in general. When you first come, you're gonna, like in Thailand, you're spoiled for choice. You got all these condos to pick from, and you got to figure out which one you're gonna stay in and how to pick one. Start off, you want to have one that's relatively quiet. Try not to get one right on the main road. But again, if you do, you can pick one on the main road as long as you pick a unit that's in the back, away from the road. Usually the building will be up on the main road with an office, but as you go back further, it'll be quieter in the side street. So that can be fine too, even if it's in a noisy area, as long as you're on the other side of the building. So you'll have some quiet. And another thing to look for is like construction. You don't want to move in right next to a big construction project because you'll hear that construction noise all day, 7 days a week. They don't even take Sundays off, so you'll hear that all the time. So that's another thing. Look for construction. Also, there could be bar noise. Go by in the evening and check it out late in the night and see what kind of loud band is playing or something, or karaoke, which you don't have too much trouble with that here. But if you're off like Soy 94, they'll start up bands, or even some of them, they'll have a food mart just set up all of a sudden with a live band like they do in front of Market Village. So you just kind of got to watch where you set up and try not to be too close to the festivities, or at least be on the other side of the building. And another thing, you want to have safety. There'll be most of them will have a guards on duty, and gates like ours. They just redid the security. They got new gates installed, double doors now. You got to use your key card to scan in the building to get in the door. In most condos here, it is that way. You need that. It's a card they'll give you to scan in the building. Like mine ain't a card. Mine's a little thing. This scans me in the gate. The guards all know you too. When you walk past, the guards will stand up in attention and salute you. It's pretty cool. They really do a good job. They constantly taking pictures walking around the parking lot. They tell people where to park. They'll keep the ex-girlfriends out. That's very important for you. Some of you guys to keep the ex-girlfriend out. She can't come by and haunt you at her will. They'll lock her out if you don't give them permission to come in. They don't even let anybody come in. You're supposed to go down and meet them, even if they're there. They won't even call you, I don't think. So yeah, and that's an added safety feature. If you can find a place with a safe, that's another thing. If you can find a one that has an actual safe, that's a good thing in your unit. That's a big helpful thing, so you don't ever get nothing stolen. You keep your passport, if you have a large sum of money or something in there. I can't vouch for the safes if they're safe or not, but it'd be a good backup thing to have around. I think I'd use it if I had one. So that's one thing. And another thing, this beautiful seaside view is nice. The ocean, facing the ocean. You wake up every morning and you got this beautiful sea view. That is nice and good, but then when that sun comes up here in the east that way, and the sun rises in the east and shines this way, and if you're facing the ocean, you're going to get the hot sun in the morning. And I noticed the people with the sunshine in their view of the sun in the early morning sun, they always have their shades drawn all day. So I wouldn't want to live like that with my shades drawn. My window faces north. My sliding glass door, that's the only window you'll have in most units. It'll be just your sliding glass door, and it'll be a whole window. You can see the whole side of the wall actually. So it's a big window. But yeah, you want it. Mine is facing north, so I don't get any direct sunlight or sunset. But I can kind of see the sunrise and the sunset a little bit, but I never get the direct sunlight, even on my balcony. Just a little bit on my balcony, but not much at all. And I like it that way. It's nice, stays cool. I don't have to draw the shades. I can leave them open as much as I want without worried about added aircon bill. Some people, if you're in a hot unit, it'll bake you, and it'll send your aircon bill up higher if you're directly in the sun and you're trying to keep your place cool. So that's another thing you got to really worry about that too. Another good thing is have a water machine in the building, in the downstairs. Look for that. Ask about that when you come in. Ask about how much, or do you guys have a water purifying machine? That'll save you from having to always run back and forth carrying heavy bottles to the 7-Eleven. That's another thing. You want to have a 7-Eleven or a store and a mall nearby within walking distance is always good if you can do that. If you're driving or renting a scooter, it's not a big deal, but for me, I'm walking, so I like to have a mall within walking distance. I like a 7-Eleven nearby, just so you can grab quick things. In fact, they're usually everywhere anyway, a Tops or whatever, so there's plenty of those. Just try to pick a place with one. And if you can find a place that's got a park or a little green space nearby where you can get down and go walk, safely walk and exercise with a sidewalk at least, and like this, a beach is even better. That's what I do. I go to the beach every day. That's my green space, and that cures it. I'm here a couple times a day. So yeah, the water, and then have a 7-Eleven, and of course some medical services nearby. I'm living real close to the hospital, so I could crawl to the hospital literally if I had to with 2 broken legs. But that's a mistake. Don't live too close to the hospital because you hear all the sirens all the time. I do have a lot of street noise I have to listen to in my unit because I'm kind of still close to the street. If I moved to the other end of the building, I wouldn't have hardly any street noise, but you're still going to hear them sirens. It's almost unavoidable. They're just, this whole main road, you'll hear them sirens. And that's a forewarning to you guys driving the motorbikes. Be careful. I hear them sirens 20 times a day or more. Every 10 minutes practically I hear one take off. The sirens are going to go pick someone up for something. I imagine it's motorbikes. But anyway, those are just a few things I thought I'd point out. I don't know if you can hear me again. It's pretty windy. And those are the things that I had to figure out kind of on my own. And pricing, they're going to want to send you in they're going to want to set you up with a long contract. So you got to be ready to let them know what you want, month to month or whatever, paying. But keep in mind, if you come in here at high season, it's going to be hard to find a place. So if you're trying to find a long-term contract, come in at low season, like between March and November, and you can work during low season. You'll get a much better rate and more choice too. Actually, in high season, it gets real booked up, and you'll be hard pressed. You'll be paying top dollar, and not many places will be open. So. And look over your contract, and you might want to have somebody with you that can speak Thai or something, because your contract will be written in Thai. Maybe they'll be nice and translated or in English for you too, but I've moved into places where the contract was just Thai, and I signed it, and I wanted to move, and I realized I told them month to month, but I ended up losing my deposit because I moved out, and I had signed a year without even knowing it because it was all written in Thai. So yeah. They'll allow you to pay month to month, but they'll want you to sign a 3 or 6 or yearly lease. I ended up signing a yearly lease after a month to month for a couple of months just to make sure I liked it. Do that too. Make sure you like the unit and stay there a month if you can before you sign a long-term lease. That'll save you a headache later or losing your deposit. I lost about $300 deposit on one, so. Learn from my bad lesson, okay? Well, all right. That's just a few tips I thought I'd give you. Hopefully it'll help someone if you're coming here and you're going to find a place to stay. Good luck. There's plenty of choice. You really are spoiled for choice here all the way up and down the beach. Depending on what your money is, how much you can afford. There's places from, I hate to say it, but 200 on up to thousands, So good luck. I'll give you a look around before I shut her down. Sure to check back for new uploads every day. See you in the next one.